Right everyone, and welcome back to Season 16 of AOR F2 on Xbox One. We're here today for the 17th round of the season, the Japanese Grand Prix, getting right now down towards the end of this season. And yeah, as you can see, it's a wet qualifying session. Now obviously at this point Season 17 is well underway. I'm sorry that the upload's been really inconsistent on this game, but I'm going to finish this season first before I move on to that. So yeah, just so you know, it's gonna still be a little bit of a while, but should hopefully be able to record these final few races quite close together, so should be able to upload them and then get cracking on season 17. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, but as I say, the rest of this season should be quite consistent now with uploads. And then yeah, well, there's been 2 races so far, and there's only 10 races in Season 17, so yeah, there won't be much to catch up on, at least. So, and at least there won't be any gap between uploads from the end of Season 16 on to the start of Season 17, so you know, there's that at least. But, yeah, Suzuka then. This is the track that I've said many times in the past is my favourite on the calendar, and yeah, even the wet conditions are usually not too bad around here. It's one of those tracks that's just got a really nice flow to it. It's quite narrow, quite twisty. It's a very challenging circuit, and yeah, just you know, always fun to drive around in whatever conditions. So yeah, hopefully we can get a good result here then. This lap wasn't too great, but yeah, it moves up to 7th place then. I think I can't remember if the checkered flag was already out at that point, but I think it must have been. But yeah, I qualified 7th then, so not too bad. It's been better than some of our qualifyings we've had so far this season, with Dralex on pole, Peltry 2nd, Frankish in 3rd, and yeah, our teammate just finds in 9th. So yeah, looking like could be a good race then. Forecast is dry, I believe, so yep, we're now going to head off then to the race. We're here for race day then, and as I was saying, it is looking a lot drier now then, as we're here for the 17th round of the season, the Japanese Grand Prix at the legendary Suzuka circuit. And yeah, as you can see, it is, well, overcast, but yeah, no rain for the time being, as we are here then for the 24th time in Japan. And it was the track that we had our first ever league race at back in February 2012 on the F1 2011 game. I disconnected after 2 laps, so hopefully that won't be happening today. And it is joint most successful track in terms of race wins, along with Hungary, although I think we've had a lot more stronger results at Hungary. So yeah, this one just edged out into 2nd place then, but yeah, still a track that I enjoy more than Hungary, I would say. As we take a look then at the circuit, the only figure 8 track on the calendar, 5.8 kilometers and 18 corners, and yeah, we just got the 1 DRS zone then down into turn 1, but should be some good action then in some places. But yeah, turn 1 is going to be the main place down into the first corner, and then quite heavy braking for turn 2 just after that as well then. And yeah, 130 yard then, maybe the most famous corner on the track then. Very difficult place to make overtakes, but if you get a good run then it is possible. But into the next corner, the heavy braking zone of the Casio triangle, the final chicane, as I say, very heavy braking zone, so there should be some overtaking into there then. As we've got the super soft, the soft and the medium tyres this weekend. But yeah, we won't be using the super softs because they're really just a qualifying tyre, and it rained in qualifying anyway, so we won't be getting any use out of them, it doesn't look like. As yeah, Rosberg then, don't know if you saw that, then rejoined the session. He actually disconnected right near the end of qualifying, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take his grid spot, but that would be crucial for us then, because he is in front of us on the grid, and indeed there is an empty grid slot there in, I think, 4th position. So yeah, that should move us up then to 6th position. Obviously we will stay in our 7th place grid slot, and it was also crucial for the championship then, with Melanie just behind us then, his main championship rival. Although I think we've also got, yeah, we've got Dralex on pole then, as I think I mentioned beforehand. But yeah, there's no car in 4th position, so it does look like Rosberg is already out of this race then, so that is a position gain for us. But yeah, it is obviously sort of pave the way a little bit more then, get one car up the way, hopefully we can get onto the podium then today, but obviously it's going to be very, very difficult. It's quite challenging to overtake here, but I mean, as we've seen, there are some places where it is possible, but yeah, it's all about just keeping it on the road on such a narrow circuit. But we've got the lights coming on now then, and away we go, and it is not the best start really. Melanie having a much better start alongside us there, then already overtaking us then as we head towards turn 1. It's 3 wide at the front, and already Dralex and Franglish have gone off, and at the front it is a salvo 1-2 then. We've gone straight up into 4th places. I think Melanie had to go out wide because of that incident, but yeah, that has worked out quite nicely for us. Then we're up into 4th place, and it's worked out very well for the 2 Salbers then. I believe it's Peltry getting a very good start and just finding himself alongside the front 2 on the grid, and I think just a racing incident really, because he was entitled to be there. He had a good start, and yeah, Franglish and Dralex just got spun out. But yeah, we skipped the end of the first lap then, where Bobbitts is now all over the back of Beefer then, and yeah, we'll be just hoping maybe for a little bit of a repeat here then, because that could get us into a good position. But yeah, we're just going to sit back for the time being then, as Beefer actually does get pushed out a little bit wide there, but yeah, there's no gap for us to go through. But yeah, we just had to sort of sit back there and try and hope that, you know, maybe one of them would make a bit of a mistake and we could slip through. But on to lap 3 then, we're still just about ahead of Melanie then into Spoon Corner, and we're dropping back a little bit then. We got a little bit wide onto the curb then, we've just run a little bit too wide off the track, we're into the gravel, and as I was saying before, this is just a track that's so narrow and it can just punish you if you make the slightest mistake. And yeah, we have lost so many positions then, we're down to 9th position, and yeah, I'd say that was probably our first real sort of on-track mistake that we've made this season. And yeah, it's a crucial one then, because we were in the podium fight there. But you know, this is one of the great things about this circuit. It is sort of very sort of old style track. You know, if you go a little bit wide, it's going to punish you. And yeah, the barriers aren't that close, but there's certainly a lot of grass, a lot of gravel, and yeah, you can't afford to make mistakes like that one. And yeah, we've got a bit of work to do now then to get back up to where we were. And yeah, unfortunately there's a little bit of a train here then, so it's going to be quite difficult to make overtakes. But yeah, we've had plenty of experience of being in trains this season, so nothing too out of the ordinary for us then. So we've got to go run on Verstappen towards 130R, and he's going over to the middle. We go to the racing line, which is the outside, and well, we managed to make it work then. But yeah, not really where you'd want to be, but we managed to keep on the road and make it stick. So yeah, we're up into 8th position then. Our teammate also made it through, so we'll have to watch out for him then, because we weren't close enough to Franglish there to get DRS, and LGS will have it behind us. And he was getting close there, but luckily not quite close enough. He didn't close enough to get close enough to make the move, because it is quite a fast turn 1 there, and then heavy braking into turn 2. But you sort of have to brake while you're still turning for the first one, so it is very difficult to lunge at the inside of people there. As we've got some people in the pits, and I think X Power's in front of us then. I think he pitted. Well, I'm not sure actually, no, I think he's behind us. I think LGS pitted behind us, so yeah, we were looking at drop there into turn 1. He went defensive there when, as I was saying then, you can't, it's not very heavy braking zone into turn 1, so yeah, it is for turn 2, so it's quite difficult to, unless you've got a very good run and you're practically alongside the person, to make a move there. We get a good run though through 130R, so we may be able to lunge around the outside here into the Calcio triangle, because he went defensive on the inside line, but we can make it stick there. And he is going to pit now then, so that does move us up a place. And I think we've got Bobbitts in as well, and we've also got Pellery, who is leading the race, also in the pits. So yeah, we're up into 5th place then, as we're catching up to Dutch now then, who is the new driver in the league. We finally got a replacement for one of the Force Indias then, and yeah, we're closing up to the back of him now then, and he now pits as well. I was sort of extending this stint a little bit, because I mean, I know that I think the target pit stop might have been this lap or the next one, but you can pit earlier here, and it is sometimes a bit more ideal in terms of an undercut. But I mean, the tyres were still holding up quite well for me, and I was just thinking that, you know, if I could stay on these for as long as possible, you know, we'd have better mediums at the end of the race, and that could help us out. Also, the mediums are quite cold. Well, obviously the tyres are always cold when they come out of the pits, but yeah, the mediums are not good when they're cold, and Yeah, so maybe the overcut might work out a little bit better for us here then. So we do finally pit on lap 11 along with X-Power and Franglish, and we are now coming out of the pits then. Franglish is in front of us as he was before, Baldry just in the fastest lap then, so yeah, it only took those tyres a few laps to warm up then, and we'll see then how it has worked out for us. As we come out of pits then, we're going to be in 7th position, so we've managed to get out ahead of Dutch, it looks like, and also Jork and LGS, but Dutch goes right around the outside then. As I was saying, the medium tyres just have no grip when you come out of the pits, at just no temperature at all, and yeah, this S section is going to be quite challenging then on this first out lap then, as Jork is on obviously warmer tyres. He's going to try and right around the outside then, get the inside line for the Dunlop curve, but I think he just got onto the curb there, and yeah, that spun him out, so that takes a little bit of pressure off us then, and yeah, we've now got to try and catch back up to Dutch. We lost a whole second to him in that first sector, so yeah, by lap 16 our tyres are obviously warmed up at this point, and we're catching back up to Dutch, who was stuck behind Hayden, who had yet to pit I don't think, and he finally makes the move to stick them past him, and yeah, we'll try and follow quite quickly if we can. I don't think Hayden was really fighting this one, and yeah, we go straight through then and into 7th position. So yeah, it's looking like a straight fight now then between us and Dutch for maybe 5th position here then, as we've got Franglish in again, and I think he was trying to, well, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but I don't know if he must have had damage at some point then, because he pitted very late to be doing a 2-stop, but yeah, he went in again then, so he must have had damage, I guess. But yeah, we're now catching up to the back of Dutch. As I was saying, it looks like this will be a battle for 5th place then, because we've got the 2 Salvers still at the front, we've got Bobbert still in 3rd, we've got Murney still in 4th, so yeah, it's looking like 5th place may be the best we can hope for here today then. As we look to the inside Dutch then into the Casio triangle, we lunge up the inside, and we just about given us space then on the left hand side because he was still alongside us, but looks like we've got the move done, and see if we can stay ahead now then. We did have DRS to pull away, so that was quite helpful for us there then, and we are up for the time being then into 5th place, but I don't think this battle will be over just yet, because looks like we're still quite closely matched here then. As we get to the lap 25 I think it is, and we actually get a penalty there for our 3rd warning, so yeah, I think Dutch had one as well, so it really was just now very much a straight fight then for this just for 5th place then, as we're going to have to go defensive I think into this final chicane, and yeah, that's what we do then. We managed to cover the line quite well, but that may well have compromised us then, having to go a little bit defensive may have hurt our line a little bit through this final corner. So we're going to have to go into overtake then, try and defend as best we can then down the pit straight, just keep overtaking our line and hope that he can't run it around the outside like Raikkonen did in 2005. And yeah, we managed to maintain the position then for the time being, and it looks like as we skip to the final lap now then, he is still very close behind us, but I think we may just have it then. It's going to be very close though, because yeah, he's going to have a great run then through 130 yard. We're just going to have to stay right here then, stop him lunging down the inside, and we'll have to brake as late as we can. He's still there, but we just about managed to move across then and get the inside line for the second part of chicane. We're going to maintain our position, and we're going to cross line then for 5th position. And yeah, not a bad result then. A bit annoyed at myself, not going to lie, for that mistake earlier in the race. As I say though, I think it's pretty much my first like on-track mistake of the season, so you know, it's going to happen at some point, so yeah, it is what it is. But that's quite disappointing, because you know, we had the pace here I think to maybe do a little bit better. Could have maybe been in that podium fight, especially with Bobbitt's getting a penalty there. But nonetheless then, it is a 1-2 for Sauber, and I believe the first win of the season for Pillsbury, so well on him for the win, and yeah, beat for a second then to obviously make it a sub 1-2. Murney in 3rd place, and that's a crucial result in the championship, with no points for Rosberg and Dragx finishing right down the order. Yeah, Bobbitt's in 4th then, we were in 5th, our teammate then was in 7th, so looking in the championship now then, and it is an 18-point lead now then that Melanie is going to carry into the final 4 races, and a very crucial result there, and obviously for Dragx that may well have put him out of reach then. 41 points now then off the lead, so it's looking like it's shaping up to be more of a 2-horse race then, but you never know, still a lot, well, still 100 points to play for then. So I mean, yeah, we're the first driver who was mathematically out of it then, in fact, so with that result. So yeah, but it's looking, as I say, more likely that's a 2-horse race, even though there's still quite a few cars still mathematically in the title fight. But yeah, as I was saying, we're in 8th place. We're obviously mathematically out of it, but let's be honest, we were never really in it. But yeah, we've still got a chance then. We could still catch maybe Jork, maybe Beefer, but after that I don't think we've really got much chance of catching anyone else. But yeah, we've got to watch out for Verstappen behind us, and obviously Pellery, who has got that win today then. So yeah, got to look over our shoulder a little bit as well, but yeah, see if we can try and gain a couple more places if we can. But yeah, that's it then for today's race. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. I'll see you next time for the United States Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.